Okay. Hi, I will be right back. I've got some people in the morning meeting that should be here. So, yeah, chill out and I'll be right back. Maybe I can find the link. Yes. Okay, cool. I'm going to continue. I'm going to put the link in Basecamp too. So I realized that like when I made the links for the morning class and afternoon class that they're like totally different, which sucks because there's going to be overlap. So I'll fix that in the invite. But I'm going to add a little message in the message board. But so far so good. A little more than half. Okay. Campfire. Can I delete my other one? Yes. Okay, cool. All right, 12:01. How is everybody doing? Did anybody have a morning class already? Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
I did also.
Cool. I want to make sure. Hmm. Two more people. Let's see, or three more because I'm there too. Right, Da, 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 da. Oh, good. Okay, Xiaobin, you made it. Okay. Well, I'll start babbling and then maybe our last two people will show. Hello. You want to see some dogs? They follow me everywhere. Maggie's the big one. Hi, Maggie. And then the little one is Violet. And they're always around. I'm gonna pick up Violet. Come here, Violet. You're cute. Oh, okay. I think we got everybody now. This is Violet. Oh. Violet is a silky terrier. She's very soft. She was a stray. We just got her a year ago, and she had quite a rough life. I can't imagine. But she broke her leg when she was probably on the street, and so she had like a broken leg and was all alone and scared and hungry. And so we spoil her a lot, and she's a little baby. But she also likes to just she wants to kill everything. She's like the sweetest creature and then the most vicious creature. But we got her to be Maggie's friend because Maggie has separation anxiety, and now they have separation anxiety together, except for the fact that they're never separate from us because we're trapped together. So they're very happy pups. This pandemic has been quite amazing for them. They're very happy with the pandemic. Okay, there you go. Go back to the sun. All right, that was perfect. Now everybody's here. Okay. There's so much to cover, and it took like 3 hours so I have 9 to 12 and then 12 to 3. So it's a super intense day for me. But look, my husband brought me coffee. Yes. And I want to get to know you and I want to get all the things done, and it's just like a lot. But we'll continue forward. I feel so discombobulated right now. But yeah, that's what notes are for, right? So here we go. Good afternoon. I am Alana, your instructor for DES 341, which is a super nuts class. It's really fun and super frustrating. If you saw my little intro video, you have 10 weeks. Probably most of you don't have any or very much HTML and CSS experience. Some of you have never looked at code before. And somehow in 10 weeks, you're going to go from 0 to 55 with HTML and CSS and a little JavaScript and some animations and some interactions and all that stuff, which is crazy, super crazy. But we're just going to do a lot of hacking. We're not going to care about perfect code. We're going to do a lot of things really horrifically wrong just to get it to work and look okay. There's this great picture I'll send you that's like the front end of the website, which is like this beautiful creature, and then the back end is like a kraken with like a bicycle wheel, like hammers and nails and stuff. Like looks terrible if you look under the hood, and that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to make probably terrible looking code, and it'll make me a little crazy, but I have survived so far. So this is my 3rd year teaching this class and then 342, which is sort of like just this class, but more fun. And I've kind of had to totally revamp this to be remote. So I taught it last term, and I've always kind of hated doing the demos in class because it's just so long, like watching somebody code and trying to like follow along, and not being able to pause and rewind and play, like just having to, you know, do that, like, can you go over that part again? Like, it sucks for the student. It doesn't suck for me. I don't care. I'll tell you the same thing 5,000 times over. But yeah, I think it sucks for you because you're like, now I have to ask you to do this thing again. And I feel like all my colleagues are going, oh God, not again. You don't have to do that for a lot of the class because I'm doing the flipped classroom, which is like all the lecture stuff, all of the tedious staring at me for 3 hours is going to be broken into like small videos that you'll watch and do and watch and do and watch and do. So you're going to be learning a lot of the code that way. And then the class is going to be more about group discussion, group work, troubleshooting that'll help everyone, that kind of stuff. So I got to go to a cabin in the woods. My friend's grandparents like built this house, and they have this like sustainably sustainably managed tree farm that's like incredible. It used to be 300 acres when they first bought it, and it's still 100 acres, which is plenty of acres. I got lost, which was cool, but I got to go there with no internet and plan out this class, which was really great because I kind of wanted to start over. The good news is the plan is solid. The bad news is the videos aren't really, they don't exist yet. So, but I'm pretty good at making quick videos. So that's my babble. So let's just kind of like get to know each other first. Let me bring up my notes so that I can remember things. Okay. And then, okay, for this class, I have added, I think there were 2 ads. I can't remember. Oh no, just Mackenzie, right? Yeah, because it was 19. Okay, I have too many windows. Okay, cool. So, yeah, Mackenzie, is Mackenzie here? You
Hi,
should.
thank you for adding me.
Yeah. Has it shown up yet in your roster that you're added?
I don't think it has, but I will check now.
Yeah, I think it, you know, I did it on a Sunday night, so I think that Sam or somebody has to like click a button. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I'm trying to do absolutely everything in HTML except for the grading spreadsheet. So, okay. Class intros. So I'll do a long one. You just do a short one. So this is my 3rd year at PSU. I've been a software developer and web developer for a really long time, and I kind of started it as a graphic designer. And then people started giving me all their broken equipment, like keyboards and monitors and hard drives and whatever. And I kind of realized that I was like the person that fixes stuff. And that I ended up because of that, I was working in a design agency. I ended up working at Apple, and I worked in like a multimedia department that tested all the new prototype Macs, and ended up managing I was there for 7 years, and then started doing web development. And I've had a lot of like, I have like a music background and art background, so I did a lot of like music and video and stuff. But yeah, started doing, I guess, professional web development in '98. And so I've gotten to see it change a lot. And then I did the career school thing backwards. So I got my bachelor's degree in 2007 in drawing and painting. And then in 2015, I got my master's in visual studies from PNCA. Yeah, and thought I was going to teach art. And in the middle of my master's degree, just kept thinking, I miss code and I'm good at it and I like it and I like teaching it. So I kind of switched to, now I'm teaching code in an art school. How perfect is that? So that's me. And then I also work at an online code school, and I teach in the design and UX program, and I teach in the web development program. And I also train new teachers. So I'm teaching teachers. And that's me. And then I want to kind of check in, and you may hear this a lot because it's been kind of a hot topic with all the instructors, is like, what are you doing to stay safe and what are you doing to stay sane? So for me, during this crazy COVID stuff, I'm used to being alone a lot of the time. I've worked from home for a lot, like, I don't know, for on and off throughout my career. And so I think for me, it's been, it was an adjustment to actually be around my husband and kid all the time. Like now that my kid is like grade school age, I'm sure you'll see her in here. She's 10 now, but yeah, that's been kind of an adjustment. And so my life has become way more like chopped up into little segments, which is kind of what it felt like when my kid was a baby. It's like that feeling again, where it's like every 10 minutes there's a disruption. So I started a project before the pandemic, actually, that I was going to keep a sketch journal. So here's my sketch journal. And so I've got 2 pages per day, and I'm trying to like do a couple pages per day of just like, sometimes it's just words and sometimes it's words and pictures. This one, you know, there's pages that aren't done yet. So that's been kind of my ongoing project. Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, I can just paste old artwork in. So that's like an old painting, little small sketch I did. Yeah, and this is like a Midori journal. I love these things because they're lined and they have like spaces for dates, but they're empty, so you can kind of do whatever you want. There's my, I went to the advice booth and dug fur before the pandemic happened. So I've been doing a lot of typography study, actually, because it's fun. And then there's this year, which is, or this half of the year. There's we made an amazing poutine cake for my kid's 10th birthday. So there's like a sketch of that. But yeah, this has been my sanity. It's for my birthday. Happy birthday. What else have I been doing? We actually camped a lot, and I took my kid like backpacking for the first time. And being out in nature has been a saving grace. And I'm lucky enough to have like a pretty cute backyard. It's not big, but it's enough. So spent a lot of time in the backyard this year. And okay, one thing that surprised you about the pandemic. So yeah, so when you go around, just say your name, what you've been doing to stay sane and safe, and one thing that's surprised you about the pandemic. So for me, I always thought that, I like to call it the apocalypse. I always thought the apocalypse was going to be really intense, like super intense, and that it was going to be like frogs raining from the sky and things on fire and UFOs and disease and, floods and like intensity all the time, and just like a fear, like constant fear. And all of those things are happening, like all of them, UFOs included. And yet life just still goes on, and it feels normal, mostly normal, even when there's like intense tragedy. And I've been around long enough that I've had to deal with some pretty tragic events. But even when they happen, it's like you still take showers and feed yourself, and and even go for walks and think about beauty. And like it's just so weird how it doesn't feel intense like in the movies or when you're reading history books about events. Like it's like life just keeps going. So that's that's what surprised me, is that life just continues. And yeah, like you don't have to babble as long as me, but so when you're done saying your name, um, how to keep safe and sane, and what surprised you, pick a person to go after you. So I'm gonna pick Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Newsome. If you hear dogs in the background, they're playing right now, sorry. So I think what kept me sane was I have a lot of projects around the house because we're getting ready to sell the house. So I've been doing a lot of, updating, and also I have a garden, so that helps.
Yeah.
As far as surprised, I didn't think it was going to last this long.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
Cool. Yep.
Okay, let's see. Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah. What's been keeping me safe and sane? I've been trying to get outside more because I just find that that's like very grounding for me. And I find that it's really easy to just stay on my computer doing stuff. So getting outside has been important. And something that surprised me is also like how quickly things feel like they're normal, I guess. Like it was really disruptive at first, but now it almost feels like, I don't know, just like every other day. So yeah. Cameron?
Hi, I'm Cameron. What's been keeping me sane, I guess, is going to therapy every week remotely. I actually highly suggest that everyone goes to therapy. I think everyone could use a therapist, honestly. And as for surprising, I guess I didn't realize it would last this long either. I'm not surprised that it has, but I think at the beginning, around March, April, we thought, oh, it'll probably just be a spring thing, or it'll go away in the fall, but now we're here and it hasn't, and it sucks, but it's the new normal now.
Yeah. Yeah. So a thought on the therapy thing. I have a friend who grew up on the West Coast, and she's been in New York for maybe like 6 years or something. And she always like felt this sort of shame about therapy. And in New York, on the East Coast, it's like everybody has a therapist. Like it's crazy to not have a therapist. And like in conversation, you're like, oh, well, I was talking to my therapist the other day. It's so normalized there, and here there's like still this weird stigma that is really bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
And why shouldn't we have a professional to talk to make our lives better? Like
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Jordan.
Hi. Is my audio working?
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, this is my first time on Zoom, so it's a
cool
for me. My name's Jordan. To stay sane, I've mostly been going for bike rides, doing a lot of reading a bunch of books, watching a lot of movies through Canopy, because I found out that we have the access to Canopy through the PSU library, and they have all the old, or not all of them, but a lot of the Criterion collection on there.
Oh, cool. Right.
It's been kind of a weird summer for me because when the pandemic hit, I quit my job because I was working at New Seasons and I didn't really feel like being on the front lines.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in a financial situation where I could afford to do that. But it kind of a big transition to after 15 years of continuous working to be unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely doing the same thing I think everyone is doing, just finding ways to keep my head screwed on every day.
Mm-hmm. Which New Seasons did you work at?
Concordia, the one on 33rd in Killingsworth.
Okay. I think, yeah. I thought you looked familiar. That's probably where I've seen you.
Do you shop at that one?
I do sometimes. I'm more close to the interstate one.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as the pandemic is concerned, I think the main thing that surprised me is when the pandemic hit, I kind of figured that having an external threat would sort of bring the country together a bit. That people would sort of maybe be like, oh, there's something bigger to worry about, but instead of, hunkering down and into like some sort of like national sense of unity, it seems like everyone's bunkered down to their political tribes, and all that partisan craziness got worse.
Yeah. A lot of that I think is algorithm driven, and that's something we should probably talk about this term, is like when you believe a certain thing, you're served certain content and not other content, and it isolates you, so
Yeah, the echo chambers are pretty intense and pretty real.
yeah. Cool. Okay, who are you picking?
How about Bailey?
Hi, my name's Bailey. I've been keeping sane just by like teaching myself little skills with stuff that I just have. Because I used to collect a lot of like random art supplies when I was a kid. So I had a bunch of like loose yarn laying around. So I taught myself to crochet.
Nice.
And like I had some watercolors, so I kind of taught myself the basics of watercolors, and I just have a lot of like little like cluttered objects everywhere. And I guess what surprised me the most about the pandemic, just like anyone else, is that it's lasted this long. But I feel like at this point, I'm not surprised about that anymore. And like, I'm not surprised about much of anything. So yeah, that's really it. I choose Noelle.
Hello, I'm Noelle Anderson. What are we supposed to cover again? I'm really sorry.
Cool. I don't know.
Cool. I'll just say what I've been doing, I guess. Oh, something that surprised me as well, right? Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Yeah. How are you keeping safe and sane, and what surprised you?
I took summer classes this summer, and that really helped me stay busy. I work at Trader Joe's part-time, so that's been really helpful. It is kind of difficult to be on the front line, but I also enjoy socializing in person with people. I've been kind of like, my coworkers and I say we're like quarantining with each other because we're all like in our own bubble together, and I really enjoyed that. I moved back home, so I'm from Seattle, so I'm in Seattle right now. Yeah, I just been keeping busy working on like personal stuff. I think one thing that surprised me is how well I've adapted to working remote. I was nervous that I would procrastinate or not show up to class, but I've honestly been doing pretty well. I think it's the feeling of when I have to screen share and show my work, I don't want to show up with nothing. So I'm always like really prepared for class. I feel like I'm exposed more. So I think that's kind of why I've been like really focused on class, and I've been doing pretty well in like even with the situation. Like I think my classwork's been pretty nice, and I think I've been doing good work. So yeah. Oh, I call on Michael.
Hi, I'm Michael. To stay sane, I work part-time as a graphic designer on campus, so that's been like helpful for like, keeping me in practice and making it feel like somewhat normal. And then playing video games and stuff too. Then something that surprised me, I mean, like everybody else said, that it's like gone on this long, and also that it doesn't feel like there's been like any improvement like at all here. So that kind of sucks, but not
It's
surprised at this point anymore.
Yeah. We've all just like normalized to it, which is sucky.
And then who's gonna go next?
There's Ariel, Ying
Trying to
Chen,
remember.
Marion.
I'll choose Gabriel to go next.
I am Gabriel. So to stay safe and sane, I've just been going out on jogs a lot. Um, it seems to be the only time I could really go outside for a while. And also helping my parents kind of like remodel their house a bit. And a surprise in the pandemic is I think like my like sense of time, I guess, kind of like became meaningless. I guess it sounds kind of weird, but it just like what people would say like, oh, what time is it? Like I don't know. I could be 9, could be 1 a.m. I don't know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's one. And then the second one is I discovered I really like tennis, so I've been playing tennis, and it's a pretty good like socially distant sport to do. So yeah, picked up tennis. Oh, let's go with Mackenzie.
Hi. My name is Mackenzie. So the ways that I've been staying sane, I would say, are I am working a little bit at one of the centers, like virtually on campus. But other than that, I've just been, in quarantine, like doing some crafts. Like I learned macrame, so I made that little thing back there.
Ooh,
And just a variety of other. Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you there.
I got super into macrame.
It's fun, yeah. It's really fun. So yeah, working like not on a screen is just a really nice break. It feels like fulfilling. I've been watching Say Yes to the Dress with my girlfriend, which is like this weird, like sort of like breach of reality. Like watching reality TV just sort of like sends you into a whole different like space. And I think that's something that's like, in small doses, in small healthy doses, is something that keeps me sane. But I'm also going outside and stuff like that. Something that surprised me, similar to what Jordan was saying about the sort of division. I know this shouldn't have surprised me, but it did. The division of the country and people's like unwillingness to kind of cooperate so that it could actually be over faster. But on a more positive note, I'm surprised and like appreciative of people's sort of like innovation and ways around the barriers that are happening right now. So that's nice to see. Yeah, so I will pick Abigail.
Hi, I'm Abigail. One thing that's keeping me sane is FaceTiming my sister. She just had a baby, so it's nice to still see the baby even though I can't see it in person. And also watching reality TV. I love Real Housewives of New York. And one thing that's surprising, I guess like how long the pandemic has gone on, and then also like how comfortable I've gotten with like wearing a mask in public. Now when I see like photos from last year, I'm a little bit triggered, like seeing crowds of people or like not wearing a mask. So yeah. And I'm gonna choose Andrew.
Hi, I'm Andrew. Keeping sane, I've jumped around tasks a whole bunch. I get really ADD, but I don't ever finish my shit. So it's like, I started a comic book. I've been making beats, but like none of it's getting to where I want it to be. Just jumping from thing to thing. And the surprising thing has been like, I don't know if y'all read about it, but there's some like brain eating amoebas in Texas right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think you got to boil the water, can't take a bath, get it in your nose. Whatever. Just another edge of this apocalypse. Has Javier gone yet?
Yeah, Jacob, Ashlyn, David, Yingqi, Miriam, Javier, lots.
So hi, I'm Javier. One thing I've been doing to keep sane is getting out and playing soccer. Another thing is I'm lucky enough to like I was lucky enough to still be able to work full time during the pandemic. One thing that's like surprised me is like how comfortable everybody is with like kind of staying home now. It's like super weird. Like you just stay home and don't do anything all the time. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. Who are you gonna pick?
I'll go with Jacob. I think it is Jacob.
Hi, I'm Jacob. Can you guys hear me? Just want to make
Yep.
sure. Okay. I'm Jacob. One thing I do to stay sane, I've been going down to see like my family in Eugene, like somewhat frequently, like more frequently than if there wasn't a pandemic. So don't be surprised if you ever see me in a different room because I'm probably there. And one thing that surprised me, yeah, just I'm adding to everyone else who already said it, but like how long it's gone on. Didn't expect it to reach this far, but here we are. So yeah. Xiaobin, did I say that right?
Yes, and so my name is Xiaobin, and you guys can just call me Ben. I think it's more easier to pronounce. And so one thing that that I have been doing like keep me safe is I just bought like whole bunch of video games and I Switch, and I spend like 200 hours on the in the Animal Crossing and Zelda. Yeah, and but one thing very surprised me just like because of that I have like gained like almost 20 pounds during the
Oh
pandemic.
no.
Yeah, and so I didn't do any like anything special during the pandemic. I just like watch movies and play video games like, and I watched the movie called Mulan like a couple days ago. And I think that movie is very disappointing to me. And compared to the cartoon, like they just kick out like some of the character like Mushu and Little Bug.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think
What,
that
what was the movie? I missed the movie.
Mulan.
Oh, Mulan. Oh yeah.
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 You know they just kick out the character called the Little Dragon called Mushu, and
Yeah,
it's not that funny anymore. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. And David.
Hello, I'm David. He, his. I have been keeping sane with several things. I picked up Dune, the book, and I've been trying to like get into music production some more. Spending a lot of free time, just like not doing anything, trying to be comfortable with my emotions, facing a lot of anxiety. So seeing a therapist is helping. I'm not sure if there's anything that's been surprising to me recently. Like, I feel like a lot of things were shocking me at the beginning of all this, but as people have been saying, it's like all just so normalized, unfortunately, now. Andrew, I'm on Ableton, but I don't know anything about it still. I choose Ariel. Have you gone?
Hi, I'm Ariel. See, I moved right at the beginning of the pandemic to a new house with a yard and a better neighborhood, so that has been amazing. I also rescued a baby rabbit during the summer from a parking lot, and she's living in my office, so she's been keeping me entertained. And the thing that has surprised me is that I'm now like slightly agoraphobic, and I'm afraid that like I won't be able to reintegrate if we go back to in-person life. So
yeah.
Choose Ashlyn.
Hi, I'm Ashlyn. Some things that I've been doing to stay sane this summer has just been getting outside every weekend. I think there wasn't a single weekend that I didn't go camping this summer. So that was really nice. And I started mountain biking and fly fishing. So that's been a really good thing to keep me busy.
The fly fishing website.
What's that?
You may have to make a fly fishing website. I think that would be fun. Like how to
Yeah, that would,
cast or whatever.
I would love that. I need to learn how to cast myself first, but that would be really cool. And then I think same with everyone else, the most surprising thing for me has just been how quickly things have become the new normal, and how quickly people can adapt. Not that it's easy, but yeah. And I will pick.
So we have Ying Chi, Miriam.
Okay, let's go with Miriam.
Oh, my pen's dying. Is Miriam muted? Where's Miriam? Oh, are you having audio issues? Yeah, we can't hear you. There's on the top of your screen. Wait, thought I heard you. Where is it? Someone told me there's like Zoom. Where is it? Zoom. I don't know. Mute, unmute. No, I don't know where the audio stuff is for Zoom actually. Sometimes if I mute and unmute, it works. Or if you have a headphones to take them off, or take them out and put them back in or something. But let's do Ying Chi, and Miriam, don't worry if you're like testing audio, just keep talking and we'll figure it out.
Hi, I'm Ying Chi. So the thing keeping the theme is I've been working as part-time, and I also took summer school. Yeah, that was quite helpful to keeping like, you know, not forgetting how to like attending to school. The thing that surprised me is I thought I was an outdoor person, but now if I don't need to go to work, I can stay at home like for a week. And it's just felt like just get used to it.
Yeah. Okay, and then Alec, I think that's, yeah, so let's do Alec.
Hi, I'm Alec. I have been keeping sane during the pandemic. I've started my own business, so I've been doing a lot of orders and stuff, keeping busy.
Cool.
And then I've also been playing video games, and I recently got a cat, so I've been
That's a lot.
kind of running after her. Yeah.
What's the
and what?
Can we know what the business is?
Yeah, it's called Points to Home. I sell stickers and T-shirts and stuff on Etsy.
Oh, cool. You should send the link in chat, so if you want, and I'd love to check it out. Miriam, any luck? No. Oh no. Okay. Well, maybe you can do a little paragraph in chat. Ugh, hit my elbow. Okay. And then let me think about what's next. So it's 12:39. So I want to get software installed. And it's a little funky because I have to like have you guys just trust me that we're gonna that it's gonna make sense. Because it's kind of like we're gonna basically like get some code working before I even show you how to code anything. But it's just sort of a step that I feel like if we get it out of the way first, it just makes life better. So let's do that. So I'm gonna put some links in the chat. So maybe some of you have done some of this already, if you watched the video or read the email. But the first one is Visual Studio Code. So I'll put this in the chat. Download this app. So videos, Visual Studio Code, and then the next one is GitHub Desktop. So you're going to download this one too. Download this app. So download them and get them running. And they're going to ask you a bunch of weird questions, especially GitHub Desktop. You'll kind of get to a screen. Cool. So I'll be Miriam. Hi, I'm Miriam, and something that's been keeping me sane is going outside, therapy, journaling, and cats. Awesome. I hope we see cats and bunnies regularly in here. And something that surprised me is how long it's gone on. Yeah. And I wanted to say to the agoraphobia, one thing I wanted to say is I got free counseling through my job, and I had like this intake session that I had with like a counselor. It's through Ginger, which is like this online thing. And so she asked me questions and I answered them truthfully, and and they actually denied me therapy. Like they said I was like too broken for therapy. And I was like, I've had a long life, like like shit has happened, I don't know. But I thought that was pretty hilarious. But I think I need to like, there's a service that's fairly affordable. I'm spacing on the name. It's in North Portland. Oh dang, but they have like $50 therapy sessions. So there's that, and also PSU has free therapy. I feel like it starts with a C. It's like, oh my god, it's part of the reason I haven't signed up is that like I can't find the email. It's like what? No, it's Wise Counsel, which does not start with a C. It's Wise Counsel, and they're in North Portland. But I should look up LifeWorks too. Okay, so GitHub Desktop and VS Code. So I'll kind of just show screen. So yeah, this is like the, I'm taking you on a journey and things will go weird. So just ask me, if like you can't get something working, just shout out in the chat and we'll kind of get things working. There's always a couple students that I'll end up having to meet with after or at a different time. And so I should say, I'm gonna have lots of office hours available for you guys to grab. So there is that. Okay, so GitHub Desktop, you should have this download for Mac. And then when you install it, I'm gonna actually delete everything out of here so you see what it looks like when you get to this screen. Come on, remove. Okay, remove. Okay, so this is what you should see when you finish installing GitHub Desktop. And let's go to VS Code when you get this installed. Let me see if I can close this guy. Close. I never remember how to remove. You'll see like a welcome file. I can't remember how to remove my project. I should do it though. Let me figure it out. Workspace. Remove workspace. Oh, maybe I can do it from here. Go away. Toggle. I'm gonna remove you. Well, okay, we'll pretend. So you'll see a file here that says welcome, and there'll be like a little blue icon up here. This is just like a welcome file, and you can just close it. So what you should end up with, I still want to get rid of this though. Explorer files. There must be a way. I have done this twice already. Oh, I need to stop this too.
I think it's if you click the, like on the sidebar, like where it says Explorer, if you click on that again.
Yeah, but I want to like remove, like I've added this workspace and I want to add it with you guys. And I just figured it out. And now collapse folders, but no, I want to remove. So while I'm messing with that, you have a third step. You want to go to github.com and make an account, and your username will be part of your URL, so don't make it be like I hate myself or whatever. So it'll be like, you know, your username.github.io will be like the URL of your site, but make an account and make sure you remember your password. You're going to need it immediately today, and you're going to need it forever. So write it down somewhere safe. If you have a password saver, just make sure you don't lose it. And then let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try. I just did this. Source control. Close repository. Close it. Dang. Code. File. It's all opening. Where's closing? Close workspace. Yay! I did it. Okay. Yay. All right. So this is what you should see when you get to VS Code. Whoop. I keep doing that. I have to change that today because I do it every 5 seconds. I just changed it so my screen does that, and it's making me crazy. All right. So you should have this screen. You should have GitHub set up. Get your GitHub account set up, and you should have this lovely app called GitHub Desktop, which I will probably refer to as the purple app. Now Spotify is open. I'm going to close you. All right, I'm going to give you guys a minute to do that. And actually, it's like 1:45. Why don't we, one more thing, and then we'll take a break. So I'm going to send you a zip file that I want you to put somewhere. Okay. Here.
So after we install Visual Studio Code, what else do we need to do?
So Visual Studio Code, install the GitHub Desktop app, and then make an account on github.com. Make sure you remember your password. Yeah, so that is here. And then you're going to download a zip file. Ache an account. Homework 2. Okay, so when you go to this link here, download this zip, you can click on this download button, and that should download it to your downloads folder. So work on getting all those, and let's meet back here at 1 o'clock. Sound good? Okay. This one I think is the most confusing. So that's what the GitHub Desktop page, like app, should look like when you first install it. Ah! I'm turning that feature off right now.
What do we do with the zip file after we download? Are we extracting it to GitHub, or what do we do?
Yeah, we're gonna make a folder. So let's make, whoa, stop. Make a folder, preferably in your documents folder, but not your iCloud. Called DES 341, or whatever you want to call it, and then put the zip file in that folder. Okay, so yeah, I have all the stuff should be in chat now. But yeah, we're gonna move that to a folder for the class so that like everything we work on in the class can be in one place.
Okay. It can't be in like Dropbox either. Then I'm assuming like, it can't be on iCloud.
I would try.
I can save it locally. It's fine.
Yeah, actually, you won't really need to because GitHub is kind of going to take the place of
Oh, gotcha.
Dropbox. So
Okay.
yeah, you can have your. I would have your design files and stuff like that in Dropbox, but your code you're going to want to have it like just locally because GitHub is going to be the secondary file saving spot. Making sure everybody. Yep.
Once I made my account and then went back to the desktop app, it was just asked if it like switched my email to this like no reply email. Should I keep it as that or just go back, like put my regular email back in?
In GitHub Desktop?
Yes.
Well, let's see. If I go to my preferences, integrations, Git. So I have the email that I used when I signed up for Git. So it should be the same. So whatever you used, like you can go to preferences and change that. So in GitHub Desktop, if I go to File, or sorry, if I go to GitHub Desktop and then Preferences, and if you go to Git, that's what, like it should be the email that you signed up with and then your username.
Okay, I'll change it back. Thank you.
Yeah. What else is in here? All right, I've turned off hot corners so I don't drive myself crazy. I'll be right back. 6-ish minutes. Alrighty. Anybody have any issues they want to cover right now while we're waiting for people to get back? Okay. I'm gonna make sure I have the file that I need. Okay. Or I think we might all be back. Right? There's yeah, okay. Sweet. I think we're back. Or maybe people are no, we're not back. No. Never mind. I will put the next step in the chat. Where's the chat? It's hiding. Okay. Weird. It's like behind. Okay. Change. Expand the zip. Change the folder from username.github.io to whatever your username is .github.io. So mine would be okay, so it's 1 after, and I put things in chat. So if you are, if you're catching up, I'll just do like a rehash. So we have installed out the app called GitHub Desktop, which I will call the purple app. We have installed Visual Studio Code. I forgot to say, if you're using another code editor, you're probably fine using that. That would be Brackets, Atom, ATOM, Sublime, or BB Edit. Those also will work. This one's kind of nice because it'll allow us to have like a virtual server running locally. So it just makes it easier to link files and stuff. And it'll behave the same for all of us. So it might be better if we all just use VS Code. I don't know. I actually prefer Sublime, but Sublime, although it is free, it annoys you all the time. It wants you to, it like says, hey, how about giving us some money? And then you say, no, thank you. But it just does it all the time. And that's really the only reason I don't use it. I kind of love Sublime, but whatever. Okay, so you have expanded your zip file. You have put it in a folder that you've created somewhere on your local machine called DES341. You have changed the name of the folder from username.github.io to your actual username. You want to make sure that it's exactly the same as what you see in GitHub. So if you go here, it should look like, it should be this, you know, mine's Alana Reese. So because I've already got this folder, like a name with that folder up there, I have to just like change mine to something else. So ignore me. I just have to do this so it works on my end. I'll just say V3. Okay, so we have that. So now let's go to Visual Studio Code. You're gonna see this welcome. You should see this welcome page if you're new to Visual Studio Code. This is just a file. It just has like a fancy icon and it's pretty. They've made it look pretty. we can just close that. So just click on the close box, and then you should see a pretty boring screen like this. So these icons on the side are gonna, the first one is the file explorer. So if we click on this one, we can kind of see the files. So we have no folders open right now. So I want us to create a workspace. So we're going to go up to File, Add Folder to Workspace. And then we're going to choose that DES 341 folder that we made. So I put mine, I have like a shortcut to it here. So I have, here's my DES 341 folder inside my documents. And then I'm going to click on the add button. And once I click that, it's going to give me an untitled workspace. So right now, this folder, it kind of lives in the workspace is kind of like, we can add a bunch of folders to it. It'll be like everything DES 341 related. It kind of saves all of your stuff. So if we, I think we can click on it to rename it. No, we have to save it. So click on the untitled workspace and let's just save it. So we'll say file and then save workspace as. And then I'm just going to put mine in that folder. So DES 341. And I'm going to call it DES 341 workspace. In my case, it's going to override the one I have. So ignore that. It should just save there. So now we have a workspace called DES 341 with a folder in it. And this should have your home page. So if you click on your like username.github.io, you should see all these files. And if you click on index, you should see a bunch of code. Anybody not, and sometimes I talk too fast, and I apologize. You have to slow me down, especially when my husband gives me my second coffee. And also I made, I got this mug for myself. I think it's like, I don't know, it's like 5,000 ounces. And I've only like gotten about a third of the way in, but it's like Earl Grey tea. So I'm severely caffeinated right now. Okay, everybody in that index.html, little thumbs up.
I can't even get the Visual Studio Code to open, so.
Okay, is it giving you an error saying you already have one open? Or
It did that when I tried opening it again, but when I open it, it just doesn't pop up a window. It pops up a little thing. You know, the top bar, it says like code instead of like Finder or whatever it would say up there. But
Okay.
just nothing.
And not even like an error that it's already, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Will you restart your machine and come back? So the install seemed to work fine. Everything seemed to work fine. It's just like saying code and then it goes away again, right?
Yeah, just when you click on the icon for the application, it just, you tell the application is open, but it doesn't show anything on the screen. There's no, just nothing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, restart your machine. I'll tell a story.
All right, I'll be back.
Cool. Okay, let's see. So anybody else have code issues getting Virtual Studio Code running? Yeah, Xiaobing?
I have a question about like how can you get the zip from the GitHub when you creating the account?
Yeah, so okay, cool. Let me, I'm checking in. Downloaded the app, made an account, and then I click on the app, nothing happens. So when you mean the app, do you mean the GitHub desktop app?
Yes.
Or sorry, Miriam, two questions at once. Miriam, do you have the GitHub desktop app? Is that what you mean? Yeah, okay. So all you should have for that is this window that just says, let's get started. Is that what you're seeing, Miriam? Takes me back to my desktop. Okay, when I click on the app, Okay, you click on the app and then it just takes you back to your desktop. So let's see, if I go to, and Xiaobin, I will send you the link. So this is it. So if you click on the zip, it takes you to this page, if it loads, and then there's like a download button down here. Do you see a download button on the kind of bottom right? Yeah, when you download it, it should download it to your downloads folder. And usually what I do, I'm on a Mac. When I want to move things, I just open a new Finder window. I forgot to go over this part with you guys. So I open a new Finder window, and then usually it's like, I have a documents link, but if you can get to your user, like your username, I think I've deleted mine off, then usually it's inside here. So documents. And if you don't have documents, you can just put it in your username. You can put it on your desktop if you want. But then once you have your folder, where's my DES folder? Then you can just drag this over into your folder. And then when you double click it, it'll expand. Okay, so when I go to my apps, where's my apps? Did you, when you downloaded your GitHub desktop, Miriam, did you copy it into your apps directory, or is it in your downloads? Because that's one thing you want to make sure it's in your apps. Where's my GitHub? So I have GitHub desktop in my apps folder, and then if I click on it, it's funny if this won't work. It looks like it's not working for me either. Oh, it just took a minute. Okay, I was like, wait, the same thing's happening to me. Yeah, okay. Let me write a note down.
All right, I was able to get it up. It just need to be rebooted.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, that happened in the first class, and when I Googled it, it was like, oh, that's a thing. You just have to restart. But usually there's a message that says, you already have code running.
Where were we supposed to plug that folder into on here? Sorry, I was kind of trying to make it work.
Yeah, no, that's great. I actually forgot to tell you guys that part. So what I usually do, so you download it, it goes into your downloads probably, if that's where your downloads are going. And then I just like, I'll just open a new Finder window or Explorer window, whatever you're on. And then my folder I have in documents. Let's see if I have, oh yeah. So if you go to your user account or whatever, then you should have a documents folder. If you don't, you can just make a DES3, like wherever you want to put the folder, just as long as you know how to get back to it. So I have mine in documents and then DES341. So now that I have this open, I can just like drag it over. And then once you drag the zip over, you can like double click it to expand it and then rename it. So if I do this, then should open. Is anybody using 7-zip? No? Good, because I feel like 7-zip is always, was someone gonna say yes?
Do you use something else instead of 7-zip?
On a Mac, it just, it's built in,
Yeah.
the unzip. Are you on a Mac or a PC?
I'm on a Mac. I was just wondering because I usually use 7-zip on PC.
Yeah, on a Mac, it just like, you don't need another app. But for some reason, it just seems like people have a hard time with 7-zip. Like it took a little bit of noodling last time.
Would it make sense that mine didn't like make me unzip it at all?
Does it, do you have like, are you on a Mac or a PC?
I'm on a Mac.
Yeah, and you have like a folder icon.
Yeah. And then when I click on it, it says CCS, Design Journal, Favicon, Images, Index.
Yeah, you're good. You're fine.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Okay, so we've got a folder. So you've changed your username to, like, you've changed username to your username. Let's see, where are we at now? Okay, Xiaobin, are you set?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
And so once I get the zip and the username document from the GitHub, can I just like drag it to the Studio Code?
You want to put it in a folder. So we've made this folder DES 341. And then your workspace, you should have like a workspace project. It's like a kind of workspace. Do you have this file in there? Did you make a directory? And
let me see.
so in Visual Studio Code, this is what it'll look like. So this is kind of the workspace that we created, and then this is the folder that lives locally. So, and I think you can actually in Visual Studio Code, if you see that folder, you can actually say open reveal in Finder, and then it'll take you right there. So you can kind of see where it's physically located. So there's that folder. So yeah, so inside that folder, you should have this folder. I'm gonna get rid of this one. And if you don't, for the sake of just like getting through this this first funky part, you can also just drag it onto your VS Code icon if you don't have the workspace set up, and we'll figure that part out later. But yeah, if you just drag it on like that, it'll open it. No, I don't think I'm gonna do that. Okay. So we should be in Visual Studio Code and have our index.html file open. And then, so this part should say usernames. Let's change that to your name. So I'm just gonna say Alana's. This is like the H1 for our site. And then we wanna see this like running locally. So we're gonna install something called Live Server. If you're on a Windows machine, I think it automatically installs. So for those on Mac, you want to go to extensions. So there's an icon on the far left that's got 3 boxes in an L shape, and then one that's kind of floating. And that's the extensions tab. So if you click on extensions, and then you, up here, if you search for server, you should see at the very top, it should say Live Server 5.6.1. I'm just gonna uninstall this. And there should be a green install button. Did everybody find extensions okay? And do the server search. So when you find this, you wanna click on the green install button. And what that's gonna do is it's going to add a little go live thing to the bottom of your screen. So I'm going to close out this extension file for Live Server by clicking on the close box. And then now that I'm in my index.html, I should see a go live button on the bottom here. And if I click on go live, it'll start up a little local server, jump to a browser, and I should see a beautiful homepage, finely designed. So is anybody not yet? Let's see. Okay, cool. moved it. When I click on it, it says GitHub Desktop. Okay, cool. And Miriam, are you, when you click it, does it look like this Get Started screen? No, it just has, like if you double click it to open it, it does, you're not getting to this Get Started screen. All right, so anybody not seeing their lovely new homepage template? Takes me to GitHub desktop zip in my documents. Okay. Miriam, let's talk later. I have a note to catch up with you. Okay, anybody else not getting to this desktop? So it should be like 127.0.1/5500/ this. Okay, so okay, yeah. I'm also going to do these steps in a video just so that they're recorded, so that like yeah, that it's more succinct and you can kind of go back and forth. Cool. Okay. So yeah, so if you, inside of Visual Studio Code, I'm going to stop this for a second. There is, you should have a Go Live button. If you installed Live Server in the extensions tab, there's like a Live Server app. And cool. Okay, awesome. And then yeah, so go live. After you click it, it then changes to say port 5500, and that's what this is. What's it's starting like a server port called 5500. There's that, and then there's our page. So now this says port 5500 where it said go live, and to turn it off, we can just click on it and it'll turn it on and off. So I want to go back to the File Explorer. So I'm going to and I've made a little change. I'm going to actually make another one because it's not recognizing my change. So I just type something else. I can either do a Command S on Mac or Control S on PC to save my files automatically, or you can always do File Save. And now that we've made some little change, we're going to go to GitHub Desktop. What the heck is GitHub Desktop anyway? Well, we're going to talk more about it. Oh, right, okay. But basically, we're going to be storing our files and serving our files and like serving our websites from GitHub, which is a website. So github.com is where it's kind of like a cloud server. GitHub Desktop is a friendlier version of like how to manage your files in this program called Git. And what Git is it's like a file versioning software. So you know in XD how there's sort of like a versioning system where you can kind of click through your history, or like Google Docs has one where you can click through your history and kind of go back in time. Git, the app Git also does that, and GitHub Desktop is sort of like the front end to the app called Git. More on that later. This is where you have to trust me part because there's a lot. But we're going to add our home page into GitHub Desktop and then save it locally, and then we're going to push it up to GitHub. So we will do that by, so here's the Let's Get Started page. There's two ways we can do that. One is, let's see, add an existing repository from your hard drive, or you can say File, Add Local Repository up at the top. So I'm just going to click the button. So add an existing repository. And then I'm going to go find that DES 341 folder. And I'm going to click on the yourusername.github.io folder. and this is what I'm going to add. I want to track this. So I'm going to say open, and I'm going to open it as my local repository. I'm going to say add repository.
Question.
Yeah.
Sorry. It says, I got an error that says this directory does not appear to be a Git repository.
Yeah. And actually,
Yeah. I got the same thing.
Yeah. You want to actually click on that link that says create. I'm going to make the same thing happen here because I want to show all you guys that, and I forgot to delete something. Documents. Yes. 341. Come on. Okay, now I'll get the same message. So hold on a second. Remove. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to say add an existing. I'm going to find that folder. I'm going to click on it, and it's going to say this is not a repository. And so here's the trick. You want to say create a repository, and that's going to do all the magic for you. So it'll give you this screen. You don't really need to change anything here, but the next screen, so click repository, make sure, oh, I lied. It's a screen in the future. Okay. So you should end up with a thing that looks like this. So there's probably, if you click on history, there's like a initial commit. And if I click on index, it'll probably, oh, it's just added the whole thing. Okay. So are you guys seeing something like this?
Yeah.
Ruby cakes. Okay. I just made that up. So this blue publisher repository, this is going to magically push it up to github.com. Not magically, because it knows your username and password. But if we click this, it will, it'll give you this. So this is the important part. Unselect this keep code private because they'll want you to pay for it if it's private. It's just HTML. We don't care. It's not like trade secrets. So make sure you uncheck that and then just say publish repository. Okay, and that'll take a little bit. Isn't this exciting? Aren't you so glad you took this class? Oh, I promise it gets more exciting. Okay, so
I got an, sorry to interrupt, I got an error message when
oh, did it say that it couldn't connect to the server or something?
Enumerating objects 11 done, counting objects 100%, fatal, everything up to date.
And does your current repository, does it have like your username, whatever your username is, .github.io up here?
Yeah.
Okay, and then if you go to, are you on a Mac or a PC?
Mac.
If you go to GitHub Desktop and then you go to Preferences, if you go to the Git tab, does it have your Git username and the email address that you used?
Yes.
Okay. But after the errors happened, are you getting this? There are no uncommitted changes.
There are no in this. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll look at your repository and just see if there's like a weird error. But if you have this, it probably worked. Okay. So now, if we go up to github.com. So if I'm at github.com and to get to your repositories, I might have like a different view than you, but if you click on the very far right over here, if you click on your icon, you can go to your repositories and click on that. And then it should give you a list, which you probably only have one. And then if you click on that, the name of the repository. You should see those files that you see locally. So there should be a CSS directory, an images directory, and that index file. So you should see all your files up here. One more step, and then, oh my gosh, we're finally going to talk about the syllabus. I can't believe it. Okay, so when you're inside your repository, there's a settings button up on the right hand side. And if you're in a smaller screen, it does weird stuff. You have to click on the 3 dots if it's hiding, but you want settings. So I'm going to click settings. And the thing we want to change is all the way to the bottom, like second from the bottom. So I always just scroll to the bottom because I'm lazy. And then right above the danger zone, we're going to go to the GitHub pages, and this is what's going to publish our site. So under source, I'm going to choose from none, I'm going to choose main. And if you're seeing, instead of none, you're seeing master, choose, and then if you click on the drop down and it says main, choose main, because that happened in the last class too. So I'm going to say main, keep this at root, and then I'm going to hit the save button. And when I save it, it's going to refresh the page. I'm going to scroll all the way back down, and you should have a blue bar here now with it says your site is ready to be published at blah 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 blah. This is where a lot of times people get stuck. So if you're having trouble with this, let me know.
I'm having issues. When I went to the repository, the code thing, the list wasn't there. And the settings, I don't have a main or anything else.
Okay, and when you go to the repository, there's like no files at all. Like
Just a quick setup thing.
Repository name. So you don't see that at all?
No.
Okay. Okay, let's find a time to meet. Okay. Because yeah, it sounds like you have a weird error. I want to get to the repository syllabus. Okay, so now that you've done that, and you have this blue link or green, sometimes, yeah, mine's turned green. If you click that, you may have a home page already published. So if you click on it, you should get to this page. It should be your username.github.io. If it's not quite published yet, sometimes you can kind of trick it by doing /index.html, and that'll get to this page. But sometimes it just takes a little while to publish. But I just wanted to get this part over with because this is where you're going to be publishing your homeworks and like your projects and all that. It feels so good to be done with this part, and I think I only have Gabriel, anyone else in the class not able to get, okay, Abigail, okay. Okay, Gabriel, Abigail, going once. Everybody else is cool? Okay, Andrew. Okay.
I'm not entirely sure what point we're supposed to be at right now.
Okay.
So I mean, I switched the thing to main and root, but we're supposed to be somewhere beyond that.
When you hit the save button on there, settings. So yeah, so if you choose main and root, so like I'll just choose, if I hit save, it should refresh that page. And then once the page is refreshed, when you go back down, so scroll back down to this section, there should be either a blue background bar or a green background bar with a live link to your published site.
I got it. I think you're done.
Okay, awesome. Anybody else not get to the blue or green background bar here? Okay. And I'll have a video too that'll go through this quicker, so you can kind of like go through the steps again. Okay, so that was a lot. It's so giant to have this over with, so thank you for bearing with me. We're gonna totally switch gears now and talk about the syllabus. Okay, Jordan I think is okay. Okay, so yeah, I think there's only like 4 students between this class and last that need troubleshooting, which is amazing. Okay, let's start at Basecamp. So you should have all gotten an invite. If you did not, please make sure that you email me and say, hey, I need an invite to Basecamp with this email, because there was like it's so hard to like invite people to Basecamp. It's such a pain. So yeah, if you didn't get an invite, just email me, let me know. So here's the Basecamp. A lot of the design program classes use Basecamp, so I'm hoping most of you are already familiar, but if not, it's fairly easy to find your way around. Basecamp is going to be basically our D2L. It's the home base, homeroom for the class. All the like files and folders and putting assignments up and all that stuff will be here. So there's a message board for announcements. If you have if you know about an event that you think the class would be interested in, anything like any announcements, please feel free to add them to the message board. You can also like comment on messages. So yeah, so I think I can't comment on myself, but and then there's also Campfire is like a more casual chat. There's like 3 ways to chat actually, as I think about it in Basecamp. So Campfire is kind of more like a bulletin board. And then there is also pings. So you can ping a private message to someone. So you just click on ping and then you can probably find me. Maybe I can't find myself. Can't talk to myself. Yeah, but I can find a bunch of you. You can ping me a private message here. So, whoops, there's that part. Let's see. I'm bad at using the schedule. I think I'd rather just like I'm going to be sending out regular emails. I'm going to be keeping a schedule on the website. So the schedule, I don't know, it's like too much, but Docs and message board and Campfire is kind of the bulk of Basecamp. So in Docs right now, I have set up a resources folder, and then I have the syllabus. So in resources, right now I have a link to have this whole like playlist of videos. So this is where like the master list of videos are, and then I'll be adding links with descriptions to like individual videos that are helpful. So like for this one, there's a quick video, I think 6 minutes, on like how to add a new repository to GitHub Desktop and push it up to GitHub. So there's that. Let's see, in resources, I also have PDFs of cheat sheets. So the ones that are most useful to you right now are the CSS cheat sheet and the HTML cheat sheet. And then these will come in handy later. I'll probably add more as we go, but it's like a 1-page sheet so that like when you're trying to get stuff done, it's kind of like the basic, you know, the most important code to kind of like help you, like, how do I do padding again? And how do I do like positioning, all that stuff. So there's those cheat sheets. And then, yeah, and then homeworks, this is where you'll be adding your homework assignments. So I'll have a folder for each one of the homework assignments, and you'll just be adding, in this case, just a document with a link, because that's all that you need for this one. So that's kind of how that will work. And so what you would do is like, here's the homework folder. And then for homework 1, you'd click into the homework 1 folder, and then there's a new button, and you can just say new document. I noticed that, like, I think because I like to do life backwards, that I like to save the syllabus for the end, even though you're like, what are the homeworks? What are we doing? Let's talk about the class. Okay. Hello, welcome to Interactive Media. So we will be having group discussions from like 12 to 1:30. I don't want to regularly go past 1:30 for group stuff. I want it to just be really like a series, like weekly there'll be a series of short videos, like learn you know, HTML header tags, and then learn how to do links and learn how to do images, like in quick videos one after the other, that you'll be doing separately. And that like that hour and a half, Mondays and Wednesdays, is really for like stuff we can do together. So I'm trying to remove the boring, tedious lecture out of the classroom and have the classroom be more interactive. So yeah, so you can assume that we'll always have class from 12 to 1:30, Monday and Wednesday. And the rest is like from 1:30 to 3 is more troubleshooting, yeah, workshops. All the important stuff will get recorded. And I'm trying to like, I want them to be as like succinct as possible. Because man, like watching a 3-hour class video, not that exciting. Okay, so, and yeah, all these will be on YouTube. That's like kind of like where they'll all live. I have office hours, and I'm gonna open up my schedule a little more, but there's a Calendly link in the syllabus. And you can just set up anytime. They're all like 20-minute blocks, but I can always adjust, like just leave a note in the thing if it's something longer than 20 minutes. Generally, I really try to not work on the weekends because I need a break between like 2 jobs and a volunteer job and my kid and the dogs. I figured out that like turning off for 2 days is key, but it's kind of impossible to, but I try. Okay, so there's a class website that I will talk about in a bit. And a lot of this I'm gonna let you read through. We're basically gonna make a bunch of cool websites, and I'll show you some examples of projects as soon as I get through the syllabus, so you can kind of like get some excitement going. You're here, so I'm assuming that you've met the prerequisites. Again, Basecamp is our home base. Outcomes, learn stuff. Make HTML pages, learn about color theory and web design as far as the web goes. Learn about typography with websites, learn about media, like responsive design. And learn how to like plan and organize and design for the web. And then I have a breakdown of what you can expect us to be working on week by week. This always changes and adjusts, but this is my game plan. So let's see, project 1. So there's 3 projects. Project 1 is due week 4. So we'll have a little bit of time to get used to things. It's a fairly simple project, and there's just one interaction. And a lot of this stuff will be introduced into like homework assignments, and then you can kind of like take that, add it to a project so that you're not just like kind of grasping. And then project 2 will be week 7, and project 3 will be due during finals week. And these dates may adjust. A lot of times it's, you know, especially after you get through the first project and then onto the second one, there's a desire to go back and fix stuff. There'll be hopefully time for that, and we'll make adjustments so that there is. Because by the end, you want to have at least one strong portfolio piece And it would be great if there were two. It'd be really great if all three are, and that often happens. Okay. Final exam is usually kind of just a party and just like looking and seeing what everybody's done. So we'll talk about that later. I like to have kind of fun demos on that day too. So things that we didn't have time to cover, things that you're interested in. Like I did a cargo template demo one time, which I think I'm going to try to sneak into the class if we have time, because it was pretty fun. Stuff like that. So technology you're interested in. Let's see. So group discussions for an hour and a half, and then a lot of offline tutorial work, drop-in troubleshooting and coding fun times. I may have on top of that, like last hour and a half of like official class time, there may be other drop-ins, like Friday drop-ins. Those will all be recorded if you can't make it, because I know you all have crazy work schedules. So yeah, some of that. And then I also want to, oh, okay, I'm almost there. So we're gonna have some ungraded quizzes, and these are just check-ins of like what knowledge you should have acquired by then, just like as a review for yourself to make sure that you're like keeping up. So required texts. I will send out an email to both classes tonight with some resources, and the main book for the site for the, what is this, a class? The main book for the class is John Duckett, HTML and CSS, Design and Build Websites. So this book is available for free. Like there's a PDF file and it's free, as well as the JavaScript and jQuery one. So I'm a big fan of not paying for anything you don't have to pay for. Yeah, so don't buy this book. If you love books and you have the money, it's a great book. I'll show you. There's lots of pictures. So I'm going to be assigning like multiple chapters per week, but it's basically code and pictures and descriptions. It's not like a heavy read at all. It's basically like, look at this code and try it out. So don't panic when you see like, you know, 40 to 60 pages per week. It's like actually really light, but it's great because it's made for designers. It's like a beautiful book. It's really like visually organized quite well, and kind of like organized using like web design best practices in a lot of ways. So it's a great book. And then the other one, I don't actually even have the hard copy of the JavaScript one because I just use it in PDF form. But those are the two books we'll be using. This book, Designing for Cognitive Bias, by David Dillon Thomas. I love this book. It's by A Book Apart, which they do all these like little book series. They're really tiny. I'm going to be making PDFs for this, so you don't have to buy it. And I think for such a tiny book, I think it's like $24.95. It's kind of expensive for such a teeny book. So don't buy this either. I'll be sending the readings out from this, but as I started reading through it and like bookmarking, I ended up like bookmarking everything. So I'll send out some readings from this. This basically is like, who is your audience? Who are you accidentally excluding? How do people experience your designs? A lot of just like such good stuff in here. So we'll be reading from this. I actually also, I don't know why I keep saying actually, I feel like I also have some videos that we can watch, and I'm hoping to get someone to come talk to us. That's just more on, you know, like the intellectual side of web design. So we have a little mix of code and thought, because coding is like puzzles, but so it's not exactly non-thought, but it's just different. Okay. So that said, oh, so, you know, when you start a class and you're like, how do I figure out how to play the game correctly to get a good grade? Well, I'm just going to tell you right off the bat how to get a good grade. So this class is all about points. It's a game. It's like a pinball game. And I don't grade you on like quality of your code. I grade you on like on pretty clear things that are in the rubric. So if you need to have 3 interactions, like either an animated piece or some like user interaction, those are worth like X amount of points, right? So I'll help you like figure out how to get all the points. When I was in school, I was so shy that even just raising my hand to say that I was here made me want to throw up, and my face would turn bright red, and it was really horrific. So I don't believe in grading on participation. I would love it if you participate, and I'm going to try to incorporate different ways of participating so that you don't always have to feel like you have to like speak up. Like, you know, yeah. So there's that. I don't grade on participation. And guess what? There's no attendance policy this term, or I will read the attendance policy. You may have already heard it from the ones that had class this morning, but here it is. Attendance policy for the GD program is a flexible policy for this term due to COVID-19 and remote learning. Your health and safety are priority 1. Though we do expect you to complete the course requirements and show up as much as you can, getting behind can snowball. So this is the important part of this. So please reach out to me as soon as you think you might need to miss class so we can put a good plan in place to keep you on track. So this is the main thing, is like, the class is, it's incremental in tiny increments. So the way to do well is to keep up and do like little assignments. If you get frustrated and you have a roadblock, just reach out immediately and just say, hey, this isn't working. And I will try to get you unblocked as soon as I can, time allowing, so that you're kind of like going forward. HTML and CSS, it's really about like daily short practice. That's the best way to do this. So yeah, so that said, make sure you're not blocked. Let's, you know, fix stuff as it comes along. And then on a personal note, these times are insane and you just never know what's going to happen. So I taught in spring. I've been teaching online this whole time, so through the entire pandemic, with a lot of students, and life is just freaking nuts. Like the amount of stress and strain my students have had to put up with and had to deal with is nuts. And like one day is great, and then the next day you wake up and it's just like everything has exploded. Make sure you just stay in contact with me. Tell me what's going on. You don't have to give me gory details if you don't want to, but just let me know, hey, I'm dealing with family issue, blah, blah, blah. I will be back, I will check in, whatever, in 2 days or something, just so I know what's going on, so I don't feel like you've dropped off the face of the planet, so that I can help you in any way. I'm totally up to helping you adjust your schedule and like when you turn things in. I'm not like a stickler for late stuff. I will probably have a pretty big window for when you can turn things in, of like maybe like a couple weeks, I think is reasonable, and then maybe I'll dock you a point. But yeah, just stay in communication. This is a crazy time. We should all be helping each other, all that good stuff. And when I have shitty days, I'm probably going to tell you. Okay, and the rest is all of your resources. And if you ever need resources, if I don't know, if you have financial issues, food instability, like any of that stuff, please reach out, because if I don't know, I know who to ask to find out. So please make sure you're using all the resources available. Which brings me to a thought. This class is way easier if you have 2 monitors, and the library is loaning out equipment. So if you don't have 2 monitors, you may want to, I would recommend checking with the library to see if they have an extra monitor, because being able to code and then visually see what you're working on is much easier. So there's that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you feel like having an iPad would be just as helpful, or like?
Yeah,
just,
somebody
okay.
in the previous class was talking about using your iPad as a second monitor. And I've never tried that, but I probably should, because I have an iPad. Yeah, I've never actually tried that. Have you done the secondary monitor?
No, I haven't. I have an iPad, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, supposedly, but also, yes, I know. Oh, the dogs are like snuggling together. I can't tell. Oh, they're so cute. Okay. Yeah, but even if you use your iPad as the Zoom monitor, that might be good, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm gonna actually try it tonight, because I never actually have tried it like as a secondary monitor. But yeah. Anything else I forgot from the syllabus? Or any questions outside of the syllabus?
What's due for next class?
Good question. I think next class we may continue working on homework 1. So my plan is, I'm actually doing way better on time for the afternoon class. I'm going to show you a bunch of projects from previous classes, so you can kind of get a feel for what we're going to be working on. And the homework is like a really simple, well, here, let me show you. Let me find my, let's see. Oh, I can get there. Cool. Okay, so the first one is a really simple HTML page. And I haven't taught you any code, so that's why I feel like I'm gonna make a video, but we should probably also work on it a little bit on Wednesday. But basically, you're gonna wanna make a simple narrative. So here's the one I made as a demo. It's got an H1, a header tag. It's got just like a paragraph, and then this is actually one photo. So I just photoshopped 4 photos together so that you don't have to deal with any layout. You really don't want to do any layout at this point, unless you're like, you've done CSS and HTML before. So this is, I found these on the web. I just Googled right arrow, left arrow. And then, so you'll find images, and then there'll be, you'll use, you'll link these. So when I click this, so here's how to open a bag of kettle chips, and I'll put this link in here. So inspect the bag for clues on how to open it. Find the perforated mark on the top and tear it open or not. Pull the bag apart at its seams. Doesn't seem as easy as it should be. My hair is so short. Find a sharp knife and carefully cut open the bag. Enjoy the delicious taste of potato chips. So it's basically just like a simple story linked together. Yeah, so it's like 5-page. So let's look at another one. So this is John Rojas did this one. Learn HTML in 4 steps, easy and quick. Start coding. lose your mind. Use brute force. Success. So do this one. Okay. And then there's, let's see, turkey sandwich. So how to make a turkey sandwich. Put down a slice of bread, put on a slice of cheese, add lettuce, add some turkey. Turkey sandwich is now complete. So you get the idea. It's an exercise of linking files together, using images, mixed with a little bit of text, and that's it. And what this will kind of add up to is that our first project will be, let me see if I can find it. Okay, well, Jenna's dogs actually. Okay, so Jenna's dogs, I think Jenna is like a YouTube sensation or something, and she videotapes her dogs. I thought it was like the student's roommate, but no, I think it's like this person who records their dogs. So she's got like a homepage link. Oh, right, here's Jenna Marbles. Jenna, okay, so this is like how to, oh, I think she added this. That's awesome. I haven't seen this page before. Okay, cool. So this is Jenna. She records dogs, her dogs. So yeah, so the student has these cute little like wiggles. And then if you click on them, you go to the page for each dog. So here's Bunny, here's some pictures of Bunny. And then there's like Bunny on the beach. The first project is basically, you're gonna take, it's called the Smart Set. And it's like 3 or 4 different things that go together in some way. So it's really open to interpretation. And then you're gonna have a slightly different layout and feel for each page so that you're kind of adding to the character of that page. There's a Teletubbies one I'm gonna try to search for that's pretty amazing. But so this is a Clouds website. So she's incorporating this little background video, which is, we'll be learning this really soon. Background videos are awesome. And she's got a Cirrus page, which has information about cirrus clouds, a cumulus page, nimbus page, and a stratus page. So there's this one. Oh, she doesn't have an index. Clouds. Okay, so here's clouds. So yeah, that'll be project 1. It's basically like a 5-page website. Let's look at project 2. So for project 2, we will, all right, hang on. Okay, you can take a look at, so this kind of has a bunch of links. So for project 2, let's see, let's look at, I don't know. Well, Haley did a site for her boyfriend for his, oh man. She changed her URL. Okay, well, she did a pretty great photography site for her boyfriend's photography project. No. Oh, this is a, so project 2 is generally a Portland business or nonprofit or cause that either needs a website redesign or doesn't have a website. And since COVID, so things really changed last term, and I really encouraged people to consider for this project to do something to feel like they're being helpful. Like how do you give back? How do you help? How do you how do you improve things for other people? And so this is pre-COVID. It's kind of funny to think about, like, a lot of these were product websites, and that's totally fine. But it's just funny to think about how people have changed the kinds of places that they do. Like, there was way more nonprofits in spring, and way more causes. Although this term there were a lot too. Like, there is maybe it isn't this term. Photographers. Yeah, maybe not. Talking Heads. Oh, they're Sisters of the Road. So this is Sarah Abreu. She did a redesign for Sisters of the Road. This is a really nice website. But yeah, she took the site, took some elements from the site, and found great photos. And she may have actually not gotten to any of the sub pages. Oh yeah, menu page. So you only need to do a couple sub pages because that'd be crazy. Like up to 5 pages total. But yeah, here's the Sisters of the Road redo, which is very lovely. So that's project 2. And then project 3 will be a poster, and we'll really go crazy with animations. And you can use, if you have a vector poster that you've already done in Illustrator, this is like a great time to kind of add some motion to that. But we'll leave that excitement for later. It's 2:05, so I'm going to check in with you all, and if you have any questions, feel free. And I'm going to like look at my notes and see what I'm missing. Okay. Yeah, so my plan is I'm going to make a video. One, I'll do another like walkthrough of the whole like GitHub desktop and VS Code and GitHub, just because I know that it starts off awkward, and then eventually it'll get like, you'll get into a rhythm with it. There's a few things that students always do funky, so I'll try to like teach you about those things before you do them, and if you do, it's fine, we'll just figure it out. It's just part of web development. Things just break. It's the fun part. But yeah, so quick videos on that. And then a video on just the HTML and information you need to make homework 1. So it'll be, how do I download images off the web? Or how do I, like, you know, if you take photos from your phone or whatever, and you put them like in your WES or whatever, DES 341 folder, how do you get them to show up on an HTML page? And also just like a quick intro of like, this is an HTML page. So that'll be coming out probably late tonight in an email, those videos. And then Wednesday we'll just pick up homework 1 and just like work on it together in class, so that you're not like, what the heck, like, you know. I just thought of another thing that I forgot in the syllabus that's listed in the syllabus. And that is, oh, right, because it's on your homepage. So let me pull up a homepage. Okay, so sharing screen. So today, you all mostly got a homepage up and running, and it has nothing in it, and it's really boring and gross. So a lot of the homeworks are going to be, you can either add them to your homepage directly so that you're kind of making a cool site as you go along, or you can do them separately. It's totally up to you. Your homepage could be a portfolio site if you want. We're going to be talking about portfolios later in the term. But this is your site to do with whatever you want. I'm gonna have like the homework links. You can just add them to Basecamp. So you can use this to list your homework and projects, or you can use it to just create cool shit, or just have every single homework assignment on one page, whatever you want. This is your baby. I just gave you a simple template so that it'll be fairly easy for you to add stuff to. So there's a home page, but there is one sub page called the design journal. And that's where you're gonna be adding just your thoughts every week. Some of the weeks I already have prompts for you, and some I'm gonna be telling you as we move along. I just didn't get that far. But every week you'll have a prompt, and then you will write in HTML your response. So another way of practicing HTML. And then I just want you to find one site per week that is inspiring to you, and share that here. So I want to kind of like keep a collection of sites that are fun and inspiring for the class. So this is my way of forcing you to help me with that. And yeah, and like as far as time frame goes, you can totally work ahead of the schedule as long as you kind of stay along with the class, and like, don't fall behind with the, like, there's a natural linear progression. As long as you keep that progression, you're totally welcome to skip around. If you want to write all of the prompts that are already here, which would be kind of hard because you haven't done project 2, like some of them are project reflections, but like for week 5, there's this Umoju Miller talk. You could totally watch that now and do a response and have that done for, that week. What?
If you press the space bar, not like hold it down, but like just tap it, it actually like turns your mic on.
Yeah, it unmutes it. It's like an intercom. Yeah. Did you all know that in Zoom? It's pretty sweet. So if you just
in Google Meets as well.
Oh, really? Cool. So yeah, if you like hold your space bar down, if you're muted, it'll like turn your, yeah, it's pretty sweet. So you don't have to do the, oh, where's my mute button? So thank you, Juniper. Okay. Yeah, I feel like we're kind of, did I just talk faster than I did in the morning? I'm like surprised that it's only 2:11. This class goes till 3, right? How did I do so well on time in this one? So I guess, I'm forgetting something. What am I forgetting? I guess I can let you go. So somebody tell me what we're doing on Wednesday.
Going over homework 1, working on it together.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and I guess that is kind of it. Like we got the, so maybe what I'll do is I will hang out with, Jordan's good, but Gabriel, Abigail, and Andrew, right? Still need some work. Okay. Yeah, I guess get lost then. Yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday, and look out for my email tonight, and just watch the videos, the HTML intro videos. Cool. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. My voice is getting lost. Okay. So let's see. Gabriel, I think, is you're having the weird errors, right?
Yeah, I guess I should have wrote down the error code, but
That's okay.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah. And then Abigail, what's happening on your thing?
I think I just got behind like in the tutorial, but if you're gonna post it later, then I can just redo it on that.
Okay, and yeah, and I'll make sure, yeah, just check in with me tomorrow and just say, hey, I got it working, or can we?
Okay, I will.
Okay, awesome.
Sweet. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so Gabriel, let's share your screen, and figure out what this error is.
Okay. Share screen.
And I like know what it is, and I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. So I'm at this part where you said go to repositories, and then clicked on this one, and then here is where I noticed a discrepancy from like your screen. Like I didn't have a.
Oh, right. Yeah, so it hasn't pushed. Okay, so let's go to GitHub Desktop.
Is it? Nope. This one?
Yeah, and then okay, and then click on history.
History.
Okay, cool, and then okay, click back on changes.
Changes.
And then this current branch main hasn't been published. Okay, so click on publish branch, and this is where you got the error, right?
Yes, I think so. And
it doesn't do anything. Okay. Pull request. Okay. Cool. Okay. So
I also may have missed something. My dog was he's a new dog, so he kind of wants attention from time to time.
Cool. Okay.
So,
Okay. Click on the pull request and see what happens.
Here?
Yeah. Create pull request. It's like out of sync, but it's weird because compare changes. Okay. So main and compare. So where it says base, click on that. And is there a master there? No, there's just main. Okay. And then, okay. And then click on compare main. Is there any other branch there? No. And it won't let you create a pull request. So click out of there. Choose different branches. Weird. Okay, so click on the name of the repository again. So that
up here?
Yeah. And then your name is exactly the same. Oh, there's the files. Okay.
Yeah, this I think is new. I don't remember seeing this before.
Okay. Weird. Okay. So let's go into settings.
Settings.
And then just scroll all the way down to the danger zone. And then
Danger zone goes here.
yeah, so branch master. So change that to main.
I didn't have this before. I didn't have this option.
I'm still suspicious though. So I hit save.
Save.
So I wanna, if this works, I wanna like, and then scroll back down. I wanna make a change and push it. Let's see if it works. Okay. So now it thinks that you have a link. So click on that link. It may take
right here?
Yeah. Yep.
Down for maintenance.
Okay. Temporarily down. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes it just takes a while. So let's do this. Let's go to Visual Studio Code again. And we'll just make a change and check it in and make sure that this is working. So you can say extra fancy. Just make a change somewhere. And then
go live.
Command. You don't even really need to. You can do a Control S or a Control S, whatever. Yeah, you're on a Mac.
I think I saved. Save.
And then go to GitHub Desktop again.
GitHub Desktop.
And then, okay, so it sees this change. So in the little, where it says update index.html, just type like added word, whatever you want to say. It's
Added word, you said?
Yeah, like it's just kind of a note to yourself about what changed. And then click on commit to main.
Added word extra, and then commit to main.
Yeah. And then click on push origin.
This guy right here.
Yeah. So I wonder if there was just like a glitch where it like, okay, create a pull request. What is your problem? Main is already published. Create a pull request. So weird.
I don't know if it's me. I've never done code or HTML or this is all foreign to me, so I don't know if it's just me.
No, it's totally like this part should only be a certain way, and it's being very weird. Fetch origin. Go to under like what is it? The GitHub desktop menu. There's like a preferences. So open up your preferences.
Up here or?
Yeah.
Oh, preferences. Yep.
And then that looks fine. And then click on Git.
I did make the one change. It had that really long like default kind of like email, and then I changed it to this one that I signed up with. That's the only thing that I changed.
Well, the weird thing is, so hit save or yeah, whatever, cancel or save. There are no uncommitted changes. Create a pull request from your current branch. The current branch name is already published. Okay. I wonder if this is like a weird main versus master thing. Well, the good news is that it's working. It's just giving you like different messages, but the messages don't really matter. Like if you go to Visual Studio Code again and you just make some other little change, you can even just like add a line break, whatever, extra super duper fancy. The fanciest.
The fanciest, and then hit save.
Save it, yeah.
And
When
then
you go back to GitHub desktop, it shows the change.
oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's totally working. So yeah, what that red and green is basically like the old line said that and the new line says this. So it's just telling you the difference.
Okay. And then the commit to main thing would mean that it's like posting up here somewhere.
It's actually like first it commits it locally. So yeah, and then secondly, it like when you push it, it pushes it up to GitHub. So yeah, like the process is you add something to that little description or above description, whatever the
Here.
yeah, you can just do the I do a lot of comments that are, and then you hit commit to main, and then you get the blue and you push it. Yeah, okay. So it's whatever was weird before is fixed. So at least that's the good news. I think this is just because like the committing to main versus master is a totally new thing that I haven't seen before today. So, but you are good actually. I have no idea what the error was. It probably just had some glitch when it was updating.
Okay.
But yeah, you're good.
Okay. And so I won't have to worry about it for the next class, I guess.
Yep, you are good.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll be able to, I'll be sending videos. You'll be able to like type out some code and, you know, get going.
Follow along. Okay.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
I will see you on Wednesday.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.